Boycott American Eagle. Do not buy them. And cancel this person, Ms. Sweeney. Cancel for her being racist, for doing Nazi propaganda. Cancel American Eagle.
Why? Because those things are racially coded. And so when we say good genes are the ones that...
What a load of crap. Honestly, I'm sorry, Marc, you mean that.
No,
hang on. No, I will speak on my own show. So just calm down.
I'm asking you not to be condescending.
Stop being so precious. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No, I don't think she has bad genes.
Does she have good genes? Does she have good genes?
Sydney Sweeney is a sex symbol. She is a young, hot woman. She is objectively attractive. That is all this ad was about.
Guys, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of hoped that this story would be over by now, because by the time I got to it, I was like way late. I was out of town working. I didn't have time to really cover this. But now you got people still talking about this. Woke leftists still talking about this Sydney Sweeney ad where apparently the way she discusses genes is triggering to the woke left. Take a look.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
This ad is only 15 seconds long, but apparently this was more than enough to trigger the woke leftists. This, in my opinion, is a classic example of how fragile the communities are, the black community, the woke left community, whatever you want to call them. Just way too fragile, because it seems like every little thing, if every little thing can trigger you, that means that someone's living rent-free in your head. If every single thing that they do just pisses you off, it makes you angry, it makes you cry. I mean, there's people crying about this. All these stupid little reactions and overreactions to everything, instead of just moving on with their life, like who the hell cares? Move on with your life, go make money, go make babies, go do whatever. No, instead they want to cry and bitch and moan and complain constantly. That's what's happening with Marc Lamont Hill, one of the most softest black men that I've ever seen on television. They keep bringing this guy on, and I hate it because people like this make the black community look stupid and weak and fragile. And I'm not going to speak on the entire community, but certainly these representatives of the community do not paint a good picture of the community. This is pathetic. Without further ado, I want to go ahead and react to it because Piers Morgan wasn't having it. He said, dude, you sound stupid. Let's get into this.
The word normal, and talked about it in the context of this white woman. White women are normal, but so are other people. The problem is, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies, white male bodies, the norm. And we've made everything else less human, less beautiful, less real. And so when we say good genes are the ones that...
What a load of crap. Honestly, I'm sorry, Marc. If I may jump in on my own show, what a load of crap. I saw Beyonce do a jeans ad. Everybody drooled over it. I loved it. Thought she looked hot.
This is the issue. Got to interrupt for the copyright, guys. I don't really think that being a white woman in America is just considered the most highest beauty standard. There's all kinds of people who are representatives of beauty. They just don't want some ugly duckling, some trans man or some trans woman, some man dressed in a dress with a wig on and lipstick and makeup. People just don't want stupid stuff like that. But in general, I feel like if you take any woman of any race and put her in a beauty pageant, any of those women can win and have won. So I don't know what the hell this loser's talking about.
Right? I mean, what are you talking about, man? This is... let me ask you a straight question. Let me ask you a straight question. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No, I don't think she has bad genes.
Does she have good genes? Does she have good genes?
I think she has good genes.
You can take the dude out of the country. You can't take the country out of the dude.
Real good genes.
No, again, you're trying for these gotchas. If you just
she doesn't
listen,
have good or bad genes.
The whole point is to argue that good and bad genes itself is a bad idea. It's a racist
Why can't
idea.
you have good genes, Marc?
Why is it racist?
If
Why
you
can't you
allow
have
me
good
to
genes?
all right, I'm going to respond, and I'm going to hope that you don't interrupt me as I answer, okay? Because again, no one else has been interrupted except the people who disagree with you. What I'm saying is,
Stop being so precious,
the
please.
word you listen. The word eugenics literally means good genes. It literally means that etymologically. The point here is to judge human beings based on their genes, and to decide that you have good genes and you have bad genes isn't in and of itself a racist project. That's the point. So no, it's not that I think that I have good genes and you can't say anyone else has good genes. I'm saying let's get rid of the good genes narrative, particularly when it's based on hair and eyes and body type.
Okay, now I'm not gonna go through and try to find footage of this guy saying that black people or black women have good genes. But I'd be willing to bet you that if there's a black woman or another black man saying like, yeah, black women got some good genes, like, man, they so thick, they so sexy, they so voluptuous, they love the thick black lips and the tonality of the skin. Like, you think Marc Lamont Hill is gonna protest to that? Of course not.
Why? Because those things are racially coded. In other words, if I say that straight hair is good genes or blonde hair is good genes, and no, I'm not after watching an ad Googling someone to figure out their natural roots. You'd be shocked to know how many people don't do that. If I'm doing these things and I see your eye color and your hair as a sign of your good genes, then that means someone who has a different hair or eye color doesn't have good genes. And the last thing I'll say is, if you look historically.
Why does it have to be like, if you have blonde hair and blue eyes and your hair is straight, your genes are good, and then that means other genes are bad? No, you could say, hey, curly hair is also good genes. You could say brown eyes is also good genes. You could say a person who's thin is good genes, and a person who is thick and curvy has good genes, you know, as long as they're not like Lizzo, like fat, right? So you could say all kinds of stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what happens when you're too involved with the wokeness, and when you read too many twisted books, your brain starts to get twisted. You start to see everything through some sort of racist, crazy person lens, to where you literally can't function. You god dang eat, mother loving, sleep, god dang live racism, and you wind up being retarded.
It doesn't though, does it? Calm down. Calm down. It doesn't actually mean that.
No.
Hang on. No, I will speak on my own show. So just calm down.
I'm asking you not to be condescending.
Stop being so precious. My instruction about shouting was between the four of you, not me. It's my show. I do what I like.
Yes, I don't care if it's
my
your show.
point is this.
If you interrupt me in the first minute, it's bad form. I'm saying that if you let the guest who agreed with you talk for 3 minutes, then don't allow me to talk for more than 1 second. You literally didn't let me finish the first sentence.
You have literally done more talking than all 3 other guests put together, multiple by 2 or 3. So cool your precious Jets.
My issue with you interrupting was not at this point. It was at the first 10 seconds. My point was just to interrupt me in the first 10 seconds. So
Can you
much I've
calm
spoken now is
down?
irrelevant.
I have blue eyes, right? I also have good genes, particularly on my mother's side, because my skin is surprisingly good for a person of my age, because my mother's side all had good skin. You got a problem with that?
So what color eyes are what color eyes are bad genes? If someone has bad genes, what would their hair or skin look like?
I don't think any are bad. I didn't see anybody from American Eagle saying that anybody else is.
No one said anything.
No one from just to be clear. Hang on. Nobody from American Eagle was making any comparison. Nobody said somebody else's eye color or skin color was wrong or bad or anything negative. All they said, in an amusing pun, is that Sydney Sweeney has good genes and is wearing great jeans. That's it. There was no negative about anybody else.
The last 10 years, if you look at all of the marketing campaigns, we have done how many segments on television about the elevation of obesity? You see people who are massive. Now we're saying it's a good thing, right? It's great. Let's celebrate everyone who's unhealthy and obese. This is utterly ridiculous. The only people who are offended by this ad are people who choose to be offended by everything. Either you choose to see racism in everything, or you choose to see sexism or misogyny. I noticed that a whole lot of women online were mad about this ad because they were jealous. It was so obvious. Now they're saying that this woman is against the body positivity campaign because she's skinny. So let's just say the truth. Sydney Sweeney is a sex symbol. Boom. She is a young, hot woman. She is objectively attractive. That is all this ad was about.
Guys, do you think that this ad was inappropriate? Do you think that there should have been more consideration for the woke leftist feelings, and that all the ugly ducklings online are justified in their hatred of this Sydney Sweeney ad? Or do you think that this was just a big waste of everybody's time, and that they're just basically looking for some sort of outrage. They have to find something to be outraged about, otherwise their life is just incomplete. I can tell you right now, as a black male who knows tons of other black men, tons of other white men for that matter, I know tons of pretty much everybody, all the men are attracted in some way to all races. That doesn't mean that we date all races, but there's definitely some level of attraction. We definitely see some white girls and we think, oh man, they look really good. And some other ones we see and we don't think they look as good, but it's the same. When you look at the black chicks, you'll see some that look like, wow, they like a whole room full of black people, and it'll be like one person stands out. It's like that, I feel like, with everybody. So it's not as simple. It's anybody could say anybody has good genes. In general, if you look like damn Miss America, then people are gonna say you got good genes. And last I checked, Miss America, they've had pretty much every different race of person win Miss America. So I think that this guy and everybody freaking out about this have lost their god dang minds. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle are setting women back 20 years? Sounds good to me. I'd love to go back to 20 years ago. Things were so much better.